Hello everybody. Oh wow, can you hear that? That's the rain, and it's cool, and we're in Australia and it's raining and it's really raining, and I'm so sorry about that, but I want to do a little tutorial this morning and show, or this afternoon actually it is now. I've got it too far there now. I'm going to do it.
You're going to see across the road.
Okay. And my husband always says if you can't see across the road it must be raining. He just come in and told me that he cannot see across the road, so it must be raining. He used to always say that it's not raining if you can see across the road. But anyway, back to this now. I'm going to show you how I did these little ball things here. Like they look like little buds, maybe little somethings. Anyway, a bit of a decoration on my work. Now I've got off of this dress, right? So you get any old bits of thing that you're cutting up, and you use the seam. He came back in to tell me something else, but I don't know if it was. So I suppose it's okay. You see, I just cut off the seam. That's the seam where it's zigzagged on. To use this for the texture of it, and I'm going to. Everything's okay. That's what it would be telling me to turn the video off if it wasn't. I'm sure we're fine. Anyway, I hope you can hear me over the rain. Isn't that wonderful? It has been so hot here for so long. I'm just going to cut that there now because that's enough. And put some more glue on here because that's rolled up enough. And the glue pot is getting really weighed down. And I had another one somewhere, but I don't know if it's this morning. I'm probably out in the lounge room, I think, because I've been working out there where it's been cooler for me. Yeah, there you go. So that's then a little bobbly thing, and then you just get it and you just stick it onto your piece of work. And it doesn't matter if you've got a little fraying bit, because that's more texture to the piece, as far as I can see. Anyway, I think so. I know, you know, this one that I'm doing here might not look very appealing yet because it's only just started the piece of work, but you know, just press that out there and it just like gives a bit more texture to the piece. And why I'm doing this on here, I don't know. When I say on here, I'm using this piece of, I shouldn't have been doing that. I've just done a video, that's why. But that's all you do. You just cut the seam where the overlocking is of anything, because I like to recycle bits and pieces, and that's what I did to get that. Okay, and then I can just sort of spread it out a bit. You can do it in whatever colours you like. I mean, that's the only colour that I had available today. Well, close by here that I was pulling something and taking something apart. And now I'm going to show you how I did these ones here again, because I'm going to show you what I did with the one that I put. Okay, where's this string across? What did I do? Am I going to do the string one? I suppose I can do the string one in. This is the one that I did with material on it. Another one that I made with material, and I've just put a tiny little flower on there. It's not very predominant, but you can see it a bit. I might put a little bit of glitter on that, maybe give it a little bit of a lift, and then I'll put a nice little. This is a little flat round bead which I found in a packet, and I'm really pleased I didn't throw them away, because I think that looks good as a centre. Now I need a good size needle, so I need a needle with a hole in it that I can work with. Now let me see. And I know that this thing is running a bit low on battery, as per usual. I'm always running low on battery. I don't know why, but anyway. So we're going to do first off one of those ones like a dream catcher, I guess. And they're really, when I say like a dream catcher, I do this one here. Show you how that was done. So you've got need a circle. Now I probably picked the biggest circle I could find, which is a bit silly because it's going to take too long. Let's do it with the smaller one, Sonia. You can use whatever size that you want. I've got these white ones. Now I don't know, I picked these up somewhere at a opportunity shop or thrift shop or something, because I went to a store to buy, like I said the other day, some, and they were $10 for a packet. There was about probably 25 or 30 in the packet, but I thought, well, this is a bit rude, I don't want them. Now, I've already started them, like tie a knot first to go begin with, then you want to go in and come out and go underneath your cotton. You're going to do a blanket stitch all around the outside of it. So that's what we're going to do, we're just going to blanket stitch around the outside, okay? And it doesn't matter, if you want to have it full up so that it's completely covered, you can do that. Yeah, I've got the biggest needle here, but you need something that you've got. When you're doing anything, you're better off to have the needle big enough that the cotton can go through, and then if you're sewing, your needle and your thread should be the same size, sort of, you know. You don't have a little needle with a great big thread on it, because you're not making a big enough hole when you're pushing through for the thread to follow it. This might work, I don't know, the thread's not that thick if you hold them together, but when you're doing sewing, you sort of need to make sure that that's going to work for you. So what I'm doing is just going around here like this, and I'll spend a couple more minutes on this. I might use this like to show you how it's done, but spread it out. So your tail, I could have actually put it in when I started, but I did a knot in the tail, so it doesn't really matter. But you can go over your tail, or you can cut it off. You can catch it in the circle. Now we've made a mistake there, Sonia. Slow down. I'm rushing, I know, and I shouldn't be, because it's ruining the video if I do that, isn't it? You should be able to follow what I'm doing, I hope. Okay, get down the me road. Yeah. Now do it nice and tidy, and it'll look really good. There you go, see? Isn't that cool? There's so many different things that you can do with a needle and thread, and I really enjoy this sort of thing, as well as, well, everything else that I do. All good. This in here, keep going around. Won't be much longer, I hope. I'm just going to let the thread dangle down to untwist it, because it's starting to twist up. So just hang it down so it untwists. Okay, now if you don't want to use a cotton, you can very well always use a tiny little ball of string rolled up, and you have to be poking it through the hole all the time to go around with something like making a pom-pom thing. But I think this way is the easiest, that you've got the needle and thread to do it with. Now I'm using a crochet thread, but you can use anything that you want to, like you get all sorts of sizes in the crochet thread, or you can use wool. You could do it with wool if you wanted to. Ordinary cotton wouldn't make it very predominant, though, it just depends how thick it is. If you want it to stand out as much as you do, or whatever. And now I'm just going over the back part here. I hope I'm in the shot for this, you know, because I've got a feeling I probably wasn't. I was over there way too far. Wouldn't that be a pain in the bottom? Here we go. Sorry for saying that. Okay, so now I've got that on the outside of there. Now, if I wanted to, I could pick up beads and put them around the outside. Okay, so where are they? Let's have a bead. Okay, righto. I don't know if I got this small enough for that. When I came in here earlier, I wasn't planning on doing the bead one, but as I'm going, it's really cool how everything just comes, you know, into your head. You think, oh dear, I could use that. Now there, oh hang on, I've got a bead box up here. I've got many bead boxes up here. I just don't got the right size bead to put in it. Probably should stick to what I was doing, shouldn't I, instead of fiddling around in something different. There we go. What are we going to do now? I've got one bead here that might be a good size. It's not the right cut. I won't go through the hole. Okay, so that won't work for this. So I'll try that with something different after. I'll push this in here. Now I'm going to push this piece. Now this would look better on a. So what you've seen, I've turned all that inside out sort of thing. I put all what was on the outside and the inside. This is going to look a lot better when you do it on something bigger. And then you'll just go across there, and that didn't go through, with your needle, and pick up, oops, pick that up on the other side. like so. Now, it's not totally and completely covered how I'd like it to be. Come across here, just put your cotton through, across there, put your cotton through, over there, this way. Through. I think I might have formed a little knot there somewhere. Oh dear, that's not good. Sort of tug on it a tiny bit. See if I can undo the knot. There we go. He's out. Not out. So now you can see that that's like, you know, it's all crisscrossed over. It is little, I suppose, so it's pretty not too bad. And if I wanted to, I can still do a bit of filling in anyway. I still wanted to put some more pieces in there, put that bit in. I think that'll do though. And then all I did was just leave some dangly down bits, or don't. It's up to you. I'm not going to on this one, it's too tiny to be fiddling around with it. So I'm just going to end that off behind the back of it here, and then cut that off. So I've got a little piece to put on. I might just put this box back up. Now, I've also got these that I was gifted a while back, and I can actually, you can actually make your own ones of those if you want them smaller, like these balls that are covered with crochet, or actually it's not a stitching to do. I don't know if I've showed you that. I might have done back while back, so that'll go onto my piece of work somewhere. Just depends. It's not really done as tidy as I would have liked it to be though, so we'll have to see whether I'm sure about it. It's only little, and I would have rather have done it on a little bigger scale. Now this one here that I've got excuse me, I'll just have to get another drink of water. Too much talking. Okay, so I want a piece of fabric that's the stretchy, when I say stretchy, is really good to use, okay? So this is a piece that I'm getting off that same dress. This was underneath the lace. So I've just cut that off there, and I want to use one of these bigger rings. And what have I done with that? Here he goes. There he is. So I'll put that there. And I'll use this piece because it's a bit thick, and I probably want to, this is a crochet cotton, and I want it to be a bit bigger. To put this on here. Now, I'm going to just make this like a fairly big size, you know, you don't want to. Actually, I was going to want to do beads on this too, wasn't I? I'm going to have to thread another needle for that. And I don't have big beads with me, dear oh dear, I have to get up and go and get some. So we're going to go around here with this. We did this before, and I made a button that I pushed out through the top. But this one here, didn't put a knot in the end of me cotton. So we're working on something that's bigger, like fair size bigger than your circle to start with. Okay. And I'll do a tutorial on how to do this too after. There's just a few different ways we can do that. I just have to find some pony beads, and I can do that one, or some styrofoam balls, which I know where there's some of them, but I don't want them too big, so I might not do the styrofoam ball. I might just use a bead to do it on. Okay, so there we go. So we've got that looking like so. Okay, now you can either keep it flat or push it up through. I'm waving it around here everywhere. I'm thinking I'm just going to go around the edge of here, do some stitches around the edge like this, just to hold onto it in place. Should not go anywhere. I'm using the biggest father needle you ever did see. Yeah, I've made a mistake there. Caught up the cotton, went through that. I didn't need to do that. Go back. When you do something that's wrong, try to fix it. If it doesn't work, leave it alone for a while and come back. That's what I find. Sometimes I might have to go away from it for days on time, days on end, but see, come back to it later. It'll work for you later. Okay. So this is my. I think I did something to make a button like this at one time. Not that long ago, actually. I think I did a video on that. Well, this is sort of what I'm going for here, but it wasn't necessarily going to be a button. I just wanted to show how I did this again, because I actually put beads on this one. And just do your stitches around here till you're fully confident that that's. I want every bit of it covered up. So I've been round once, now I'm going around again, putting stitches in between the stitches that I already had there. Okay, so that'll be reasonably tight too, and when you use a stretchy piece of fabric, it works really well. Like so, if you can use a stretchy piece of fabric, it'd be really good. So anything, you know, and see-through ones look really nice as well. The laces look really good. I know I did a lace one, I remember that, and then I lost it, but I found it, and I don't know where it is now though, because that's just how it is in my room these days. So you can either push that up there, or you can leave it flat, and I don't know if I want to push it up there, so I'm going to cut a bit of it off. When I'm doing these things, you know, I've got no idea what I'm going for, so don't judge me, please. Oh, look at that. Now doesn't that look cool, sitting up there on there? Now I'm going to. I wasn't going to do that, okay, so just it's alright. I'm going to go across the top of this just a little bit, just to give it a bit more stability, because I don't want it to come undone on me. And then I'm going to cut that off, and I will stick that on there because I need to do that. Next is just what I need today. It just worked for me, and that's how I do a lot of my things. Is look at that. I'm going to stick that on there because that ring just seems to sit inside that one. It gives that a different look than what I had previously. Now I'm going to find some cotton here, and I need to get some beads, so we'll find some beads. Get some beads. Probably got my head in the camera or something. Come here. Drawer. I'm having trouble with drawers today. I'm having trouble with drawers. Okay. Now, I have a very fine needle. Well, I hope it is fine enough to go through the bead. It is not a bead needle. I probably should be using a bead needle. So that is not fine enough to go through the bead. Okay, so this is a bead needle here. Okay, and they're very thin they are. A piece of thread, that's not, I want this one here is better. Sometimes your thread too can be a bit too thick as well, because when you get two thicknesses of it, it won't go through as well. So what you used is just a nice bit of cotton. Nice bit of sewing cotton, and you thread your bead needle, which come in all sorts, all sizes, and usually you can buy them in a packet anyway, and they're not that dear. Would like 2 pieces of thread to do your beads. Okay, 2 pieces of thread on, and then you can come up from the back. Try to avoid going near anything that was gluey. Okay, you don't want to go near anything that had glue on it previously, because then you're going to have glue everywhere. It's stuck on your cotton. So I'm going to put these around the edge of this. Go back in there and take a small stitch. Get it tangled up just a bit. It's alright, it's okay, it's all good. So I've got these tiny wee little beads here, but I want them because they're going to look really good when I've finished, you see. And just put them, space them just evenly apart if you can. And this way you're using up things like, you know, I've got the 2 rings, I've got pieces of old clothes. This is a piece of a shirt that I put in there yesterday. It's nice to recycle, and it's good to come up with something, you know, that's not out there, if you understand. There's no, you can't buy these because they're making them, you can't buy them. And it's nice to have something different to work with. Yeah. I'm just hoping that everybody stuck with me through all that mess of the first part of this to get till we got this far. I try to do planning, but it's really hard because I just like to do what's happening. You know, whatever's on the table, whatever's in my head at the time. I've been, like I say, working on them pages, and when I come in here I get something else different out of the room and take it out there and add it to it, and there's just so many different things you can do. There's a few more ideas that I've got kicking around there in my brain that I can make more different embellishments for it, so by using, you know, your bits and pieces to put them all together. I think it's the fact of the work that this appeals to me, more so like the creativity of making the things that go in it. You know what I mean? I don't have any, you know, I like to do different things to make it my own personal piece of work, sort of, you know. It's hard to explain. Maybe people out there will know what I'm trying to say. But I really enjoy doing the elements to put together. And, you know, the more creative the better for me. I like that. You know, when I'm going to cry if I haven't got the camera turned on. It seems to be going along there all right now for a while. It hasn't stopped yet. So there you go. That is the makings of another bit to put on there, or whatever. I mean, I've got other things that I'm going to be making soon, and that could be a embellishment for it. The piece that's on there actually is a piece of the embroidery that was on the thing itself. Now, I can come up through the whole thing if I wanted to, and thought it was going to be okay, and put some little beads around in the edge of the circle there. Wait a minute, I'll just come back through there. Put some little beads around the middle now. I have a very large collection of things, and it makes me very lucky. I won't put them too close together. I'll space them a little bit so they won't look too bad, but too cluttered, full up, whatever the word is. I'll get it out here in a minute. Okay, there we go. Just take them around the edge of there. There's just so many amazing things that you can do, and they're so relaxing, and this makes me feel so content and everything out here. And now I'm going through the glue. I can feel it sticking to the needle, but I'll be just a bit more careful. Let's let it get me. And hopefully, I know tomorrow I may be going out, I don't know yet, and but I suppose sometime tomorrow I would like to put up a video on some more bits and pieces that I've created, if I can. This is just my embellishment, you know. I'm not using paper. Needle and cotton is not hard. People don't get scared because it's got needle and cotton. All you got to do, you only need to do stitches. That's all you need to do is just stitch it on. And I think that's coming along really good, if I do say so myself. Now I know that it's a bit high, and in reality, in a different world and space, I probably would have put that down, cut that off there before. I would not have made it so big. If I'd have thought, if I would have had any idea what I was going to make with that when I started, I would not have done that so big. But there you go. That's one of those. To maybe not go on that because it might be too big for these pages, but it's sort of something that you can do with your, like the rings and the little beads and bits of material or fabric that you've got left over. Nobody else has got one of those, I don't think. Anyway, I've got a little heart shaped here too. It had a little bow on it, and I'm thinking about going around that in the thread, and I think I will do that, and I don't know what I'll do then with the inside, but I think that'll turn out really well. But anyway, so that gives you a little bit of an idea of what I do, how I'm doing these things, and I'll come back on here soon and show you how to make the these balls a smaller version of these. I have no idea. I think there's plastic stuff in there that they've stuck that onto. But anyway, thank you everybody for watching, and we'll talk.